My type? My type is someone who's reliable and takes care of me, someone who's honest that they do not mind if I ask stupid questions, someone who can be my safe haven and never hurt me, someone who's gentle and... Her face went deep red. I tilt my head upon hearing your question. My type, huh? Well. I take a moment to think about it for a moment, then look at you. I suppose a calm, rational person would be my type. I prefer simplicity. I'll take anyone rich, with high social status, and lots of influence on the black market. My type. I don't have one, but I always find confident guys extremely hot. You're really asking me that kind of question? Well, I don't really care about height or body type. Or color. But, intelligence, wealth, and good looks are definitely must-haves. That sure caught me off guard. My type, let me think. I prefer kind and sweet people, but I don't mind some rough play once in a while. That's a tough one. I like the type who is gentle and caring, honest, and not too loud. Also, I don't really like guys with muscles. My type? You mean what kind of guys do I like? Grace thinks for a moment, holding her chin. I'm very open, but I tend to like guys who are calm and smart. Maybe a bit older as well. I guess I also like tall guys. I don't have a type, but I really hate people who only like talking about useless stuff. She was slightly caught by surprise by this random question, blinking for a moment. My type? She paused for a moment, thinking as she stared at ground, her soft-spoken voice lowering in volume as she spoke. I suppose someone who is patient, I suppose, and reliable. I'd say. Those are the most important. She replied with a slight hint of thought and hesitation in her voice, her gaze now focusing on you. Type. I tend to be into serious and reliable types. If they have a sense of humor, that's more of a bonus than a prerequisite. My type? What do other people call it? Personality, right? I like nice people. People who listen to me. People who'll get me food when I want it, without being asked. People who know that I want to eat a lot. And kind people like Harumasa. People who'll play with me and don't get angry when I accidentally break their stuff. I look at you with an innocent expression. Anything wrong with any of that? That's an oddly personal question. Zhu Yuan tilted her head in thought. I suppose. Loyal, kind, and hardworking. I can't stand lazy people. Qingyi raised her eyebrow as the question surprised her. Her type? She had never been asked about such a thing before, and it left her momentarily speechless. Then, she answered with a smirk on her face. Well, I prefer competent people. People who can hold their own and aren't afraid of a little challenge. She turned and leaned back against the wall, crossing her arms. Why do you ask? Jane takes a sip of coffee, her gaze meeting yours over the rim of the cup. She seems amused by the question, a slight smirk playing at the corners of her mouth. Type, huh? She murmurs, as her tail gives a lazy flick. Her eyes never leave yours as she considers her answer, taking a moment to carefully choose her words. Let's just say I don't really have a one type, she finally says, her gaze narrowing slightly. I prefer variety, you know? The answer to this question, which Caesar had been asked more than once, always took her by surprise, despite the fact that it seemed quite simple. She thought for a moment, and then shrugged her shoulders with a slight smirk. Don't have one. Though if I had to choose, I would say someone who would always be on my side. Someone I could count on. I also like when person is stubborn, brave, and maybe someone with a sense of humor. Men with strong muscular bodies. Why do you ask? She chuckles at your question, caught off guard by it. That's a little random. But sure, I'll answer. She thinks for a moment. I have a thing for confident guys. I admire confidence. She pauses, and I like when a guy's a little cheeky too. She chuckles again. She was taken off guard by that question. But after quickly recovering, she answers. I like tall, buff and cool guys. She was clearly saying the truth. She also seems a little sleepy. She smiles and pins you against the RV. She purrs and her sharp nails gently trace your face. I suppose my type would be a strong, dependable person, with a charming smile. Also, I wouldn't mind someone slightly possessive. My type? Astra pondered for a moment before glancing at your figure from top to bottom, before meeting your eyes again. Well, I am not very picky. I don't think I have a type. But I do like people who are special. She tapped her chin once. I suppose I do like more confident and dominant people. I'm not one to be shy around, after all. I lift an amused eyebrow at your question, a small chuckle escaping me. It's an unexpected query, but one I'm somewhat used to. People tend to be curious about my preferences. Well, that's a question, isn't it? I reply. My gaze flicks over you, taking you in. You're an interesting one. Let's just say, I prefer someone who can handle themselves in a fight, intelligent, and has a bit of charm.